96.7 KCAL rocks. Time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep. Very exciting weekend of sports, especially foosball, Pep.
Oh man! As soon as I got my power back on, I was glued to the TV watching a bunch of great football over the weekend. And listen, the last time the Washington Commanders won a playoff game, the Washington football team, Jayden Daniels was just a little 5-year-old kid in the city of San Bernardino. He led them to a huge road victory as a rookie quarterback as the Commanders defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield 23-20 on a last-second field goal. We've been talking about Jayden Daniels' legacy already building at the NFL level. Here's another notch in his belt of just how great he has been as a rookie this year, Patrick.
Yeah, I can actually relate to the people of D.C., man. 19 years of waiting for this to happen. I mean, that's what happened with my Mariners. I'll never forget the announcer saying 19 years of frustration over with. Same thing with Jayden. He's done it at every level. I know we were just talking about this on air. I mean, he's always, or off air, he's always been a stud, and even in the NFL. I mean, that's how legit this kid from Purdue is.
Yeah, is this amazing and awesome? Yes. Am I surprised? Is anyone surprised who followed him at Cajon? At the end of the day, not really, because he's always done this. He's always looked comfortable, and it was easy to him. I know it's not. He makes it look easy, but he makes it look easy out there. It's just he just feels so comfortable in the quarterback position. He always makes the right decision. He is super athletic. He just looks like he's just having fun, and it's easy to him.
I mean, two things. One, he is a guy you cannot leave hanging around. And two, he's a rookie. He's playing like this as a rookie. Boy, that's scary.
Yeah, we were saying off air, it's kind of Patrick Mahomes-esque, right? You know, if you leave, if it's a tight ball game and you leave him a window, if he gets the ball last, they're going to win. He's going to drive them down for a touchdown or a field goal to win it. That's exactly what happened to the Buccaneers.
Even if it's a doink.
Yeah, what did Mike Tirico say? They're doinking to the divisional round or whatever.
Yeah. So. Hey, man, you'll take it. A win is a win if you ask Jayden.
Yeah. And now they're going to try to do it again. They've got a mountain to climb as they go to the Motor City. They're going to take on the number 1 seed Detroit Lions, my pick to get to the Super Bowl. If anyone could do it, it would be Jayden Daniels, but that's a big ask right there.
Scary team to play. I also feel like the second scariest is the Rams. Sometimes you think you should beat them, which is sometimes the worst position to be in.
Yes. And speaking of the Rams, we're going to see them tonight. They got a tough, first round wild card playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings, who were, nearly the number 1 seed in the NFC. That's how good Minnesota's been this year with Sam Darnold, but they're going to be playing tonight. Monday Night Football, final playoff game of the first round. This game will be in Arizona, the home of the Cardinals, because of the fires here in Southern California. And we'll see if the Rams can punch their ticket to the next round. We know the winner of this game will get the Eagles. The Eagles handling Jordan Love and the Packers 22-10. So we'll see who will advance to play Philly in the divisional round.
Clearly, I'm not a Rams fan, so it's hard for me to feel sympathetic towards them. But it does kind of suck if you're a Rams fan to lose home field advantage like that.
Yeah, I don't know how the ticketing system works or how the organizations, work with one another. But, like what if you're a young kid and your parents bought you tickets to the Rams playoff game? You can't make the drive or the short flight to Phoenix, but you had tickets to this, so I don't know. You're right. Rams fans have been, wanting this game, and they fought so hard to win the West and get that first round home game, and then you don't get it. In fact, it's at an NFC West rival of all places, but probably logistically it made the most sense to put it in Arizona. So I don't know, this neutral site game, does it play, in favor of Minnesota? Maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Rams, I'm sure, would love to be at SoFi tonight as opposed to Glendale.
Now, I've heard that you get a refund and or a credit. Plus, the ownership of the Rams is doing $1 million for the wildfires. So is Arizona. So is the Vikings. So, I mean, there is some good coming out of it. And really, even on the Twitter account of the old Rams, they were like, thank you, AZ Cardinals, for giving us your stadium. That is a cool move. Even if it is a rival, it is helping out, which we do appreciate.
Yeah, and I think the Cardinals even sent like their private jets to come get the Rams and their families and all their
Kind of cool.
stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
very cool to see the NFL fraternity kind of coming together during this
Yes.
crisis. So tonight, Monday Night Football, the final playoff game. That's the NFC. Over the AFC, man, the Chargers just really laid an egg on the road at the Texans. The offense could not get going. C.J. Stroud, the pride of Rancho Cucamonga, they win 32-12 to knock out the Lightning Bolts out of the playoffs. Maybe it looked kind of close in the first half, but it was not really a close game.
A lot of turnovers, and I
Yeah.
know that Justin Herbert is receiving a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
Boy, my goodness. But they are, I know nobody wants to hear this, they're a little ahead of schedule.
Uh-oh.
They did good. You know what I mean? This is Harbaugh's first year. I would say look out for them to get tougher and tougher from here on in. But nevertheless, like Pep said, they did lay an egg.
They laid a big egg. I had big expectations. I thought, man, I think the Chargers are going to go on the road and maybe steal this game against the Texans, but that was not the case. In fact, Jayden Daniels' big win against Tampa Bay was easily the best game of the weekend. The AFC, all the games were not really competitive. The big win for the Houston Texans, the Bills hammering the Broncos 31-7, not shocked there, and the Ravens 28-14 against the Steelers. And I feel like that game really wasn't that close. The Steelers scored a couple second half touchdowns that make it look close, but Baltimore dominated that game.
Yeah, very true. One thing it reminded me of my old high school coach is when the Broncos did the fake kick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fake punt. When you're the other team and they pull something like that, I remember my coach saying, they know they can't compete with you. That's why they're doing that. They know they can't compete, and that's what happened. They ended up throttling them.
Pull out all the tricks, right? Trying to do something, spark something. It did not work. Denver was a nice story this year, but come on, you're not going to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills. So
those are a little different this year.
No, yeah, that's not going to happen. So here's your AFC next round playoffs, the divisional round. The Chiefs will be at home against the Texans, and the Bills will take on the Ravens. Bills versus Ravens is probably the best game of the weekend. That's going to be amazing.
Here we go.
Yeah. The other big NFL story, real quick, Patrick, before we move on to the college football playoffs, is Mike Vrabel is the new head coach of the New England Patriots, one of the Patriots' all-time greats at linebacker, taking over, the franchise. But what's interesting here, and I forgot about this, even though it's right in my wheelhouse, Mike Vrabel had 10 receptions in his career, even though he was a star linebacker, and all 10 of them were touchdown catches. He had 10 touchdowns in his career. I guess it's like a tight end or a halfback or something like that.
Yeah, if you hear Edelman talk or Gronk talk or Brady talk, they've always knew that Vrabel was a really smart dude. And even a wise ass used to really go at Belichick, they said, wasn't afraid to take on Bill. Even one time, being a linebacker for the Patriots, they told a story of one time he had to hear about Lawrence Taylor and the Giants so much, he came into practice dressed as a Giant. It was like, are you effing happy now? To Bill. And everyone was like, Mike, what are you doing? But Vrabel didn't care.
No, maybe that's what won him over in the locker room, or maybe that's, translated to the football field, having that kind of attitude. And maybe Bill Belichick behind the scenes appreciated that. You never know, because Bill never shares anything. But maybe he did appreciate that. So if there was a former Patriot who does it the Patriot way, maybe this is the guy. If anyone can save the team or where they're at right now, it's probably Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, he's going to bring a culture change, just cross every T, dot every I, all that business. We'll see. Hey, Drake May is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
They say when you have a quarterback, here we go.
Yeah, they said he is good, and he showed glimpses of it. So we'll see. And I know Mike Vrabel was attached to a lot of teams, including the Raiders, because Tom Brady's now, minority owner. So, but Vrabel's going to the Patriots. It's a done deal. So
there we go.
And finally, the college football playoffs. We have our national championship set. It will be Notre Dame taking on Ohio State. The Fighting Irish using a field goal to beat Penn State, and a wild sequence at the end of Ohio State and Texas in the Cotton Bowl as the Buckeyes win 28-14. But that game was probably closer than that score would indicate. But Ohio State, Notre Dame, man, there it is, your national title game.
Yeah, so we got that coming up. So we still have some championship football, in our midst a little bit. It definitely seems, at least to me, the college football playoff, very successful, Pep. I think so.
I think so. It was a little slice of March Madness. Did we have any huge upsets? No, but man, it was fun. And I had people asking me, even my father-in-law, so wait, so the Rose Bowl was last week and the Orange Bowl's? Right. Yes, it is. Let me explain to you. So it was awesome. I think it got people who casually watch football excited about the college football playoff.
I think a little bit of tweaking will happen, and you can kind of see it this weekend with the NFL about how like the they didn't just
the
do
reseeding,
correct, where they did the Lions are going to do the lowest seeded team. I could see a little bit of that working its way in, and that way, because you did have, and I know people don't want to hear that Boise State could have won, but Boise State had to not play for almost 28 days, and then boom, you got to play a big dog right away. Yeah. Maybe a little reseeding will be happening. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives, but there's probably room for some tinkering as well going forward.
But I think it worked pretty damn well. Yeah. Just like our guy Pep on Thursday, we'll be able to talk a lot more. We'll see what happens with the Rams, all that stuff. That's why we got our guy Pep. Tell him how to get your stuff.
Yeah, we don't know. Rams Monday Night Football, we'll know on Thursday. Are they moving on or is their season over? You can get my stuff on Inland Sports right now on Instagram, X, Facebook. We're also on YouTube. All you got to do is search Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.